I'm Dr. Palvi Sharma from the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, School of Engineering, Design and Automation, GNA University, Fagwada. Today, I will deliver my lecture on the subject Communication Signals and System. So, very first topic related to this subject will be that I will cover today. That is introduction to signals and classification of signals. So, first I will start with the introduction to signals. So very first, what do you mean by signals? As we know, the signals are very important or essential part in our real world environment. If I talking about the medical field, then ECG, EEG signals are the best examples of signals. So first of all, the definition of signal. A signal means that contains some information to represent a physical phenomena. So that is a function of one or more independent variables. Now you can see here the examples. If we will take the example of a voltage, then V of t is a signal that represents the voltage with respect to time. If we are taking here the x-axis and y-axis, then x-axis represents the time that varies with respect to x-axis, and this V of t, that is the voltage varies with respect to time. Now time does not depend on the voltage, that's why the voltage is a dependent variable that depends on time t, and volt t is a independent variable. Similar, you can take the example of a current, that is I of t. Here current depends on time t. Another example of signal is x of t. Now here the example of any function, you can take here x, y, z, any function with respect to time. So in the medical field, heartbeat, blood pressure, that varies with respect to time, temperature. We can note down the temperature of a particular day and for particular time and represent it in the form of graph. So that is a definition of a signal or examples of signal. So it varies with some independent and dependent variables. So a y-axis output is a dependent variable and the x-axis input as a independent variable. Now next is, there are two types of signals, one-dimensional and multi-dimensional. So very first is a one-dimensional signal. If we see the example of a one-dimensional signal, that means the signal that varies with respect to only one independent variable. Now here on x-axis there is a independent variable is time. Let us suppose on y-axis dependent variable is x of t. So output x of t depends on time t and varies with respect to time. So this is an example of a one-dimensional signal, and most common example, that is a speech signal, human speech, that varies, pressure or sound varies with respect to time. Second type of signal is multi-dimensional, in which there will be two or more independent variables like image. If we are talking about image, then vertical and horizontal coordinates of the image is two-dimensional variables. You can also take the example of a video signal, in which there will be three coordinates, that is colors of light, red, green and blue, varies with respect to time. So these are the different examples of one-dimensional and multi-dimensional signals. Now next, how to represent a signal. Signals can be represented as a function of one or more independent variable. As you can see in this example, there is only one independent variable, that is time t, and output is f of t, that is function of t. F of t depends on time t. Now you can see in this example, as the value of time varies, the output f of t also representing with the form of dependent variable that depends on time t. So next, after the introduction to signals, there are classification of signals, how we can classify the signals, how to represent the signals with the different fields. So there are 5 types of classifications. Very first is continuous and discrete time signals, even and odd signals. Even and odd, also called as, even is called symmetric signal and odd is called anti-symmetric signal. Third type is periodic and non-periodic. Non-periodic is also called aperiodic signals. Fourth one is deterministic and random signals. So random signals are also called non-deterministic. And last classification is energy and power signals. So first is continuous time signals. Continuous time signals are also called analog signals. If you observe this figure, then you can see what do you mean by analog or continuous time signal. As on x-axis there is a time t, and here is on y-axis the output is x of t. Now x depends on time t. Now in this graph, output varies continuously with respect to time, within the range of -4 to 4. That means continuous time signal means a signal having some value at particular instance of time within a range -4 to 4. If I see here what is the value at -3, then you will get the value at -3 for the output x of t. So in continuous time signal will be represented as x of t. Instead of x, we can take any other variable also as a function. So here signal x is a function of time. So different types of examples will be there for a continuous time signal. The signal there in which there is no break, that move continuously, flow continuously with respect to time, that type of signal is called continuous time signal. Another example, we can also take the temperature over time. That is the example of a continuous signal, and we can draw the temperature with respect to time. So opposite to continuous time signal is a discrete time signal. So in discrete time signals, you can see here the sample points are displayed on the graph. And second, instead of t, we have to write n. Instead of parentheses, there are square brackets. And on x-axis, instead of t, there will be a variable that is called n. N is also the time. Now here, discrete time signal is a signal that has a value for a particular instance of time, not for every instance of time. So you can see here at -4, we have a value for a signal x of n. At -3, but in between -4 and -3 there will be a no value of a signal. At that point the value remains 0. So that is called a discrete time signal. And discrete time signals can be represented or plotted in the form of square wave, in the form of binary bits that are zeros and ones. Each single binary digit is called a bit. Now you can see in this example that is data or information is 1011 1010, and 1 is represented by a high in bit or a high level, and 0 is represented by a 0 level. That is another example of analog and digital, or the comparison between both. So in an analog signal or a continuous time signal, a signal varies continuously with respect to time at every instant of time within a range of a time. But in discrete, only discrete values will be there. Now the example for digital signal is 100101. So 1 is represented by a high level and 0 is represented by a low level. So another classification is even and odd signal. Even signals means asymmetric signals. If we see yourself in the mirror, then you will get the same output. That is called even signal. Now in this example, that is called even signal. If you see both the sides, left side and right hand side, both are same. So that is t, and this one is minus t. Both are mirror images, left hand side and right hand side. But in the case of odd signals that are called antisymmetric signals, left hand side of the graph will be the negative mirror of the right hand side graph. You can observe the difference between even and odd signal. And what are the conditions for even and odd signal? In the case of even signal, let us suppose we have a variable x of t. Then x of t is equal to x of minus t. That is the condition for an even signal in the form of continuous time signal. And for discrete, we can write x of n is equal to x of minus n. Now what does this indicate, x of minus t or x of minus n? That is just the mirror image of the original signal. That means it indicates both the left side and right hand side are mirror images to each other. But in the case of odd signals, the condition will be x of t is equal to minus x of minus t. And in the case of discrete, instead of t we have to write n. So in the as per this condition or this figure, we can represent both the left hand side and right side are negative mirror images to each other. So we can also supply one signal. Let us suppose we have a g of t, a total signal that represent the signal in the form of even and odd. So we can split this total signal into even and odd part. So this is the equation for odd part, that is GET. That is for even signal equal to g of t plus g of minus t by 2. What is g of minus t? That is a negative part of the original signal or the mirror image of the original signal. And the odd part is g of t, g of minus t by 2. That is odd part of the signal. So we can decompose both the signals into two parts. One is even and odd part. So as per these equations, what step we have to follow for the numericals? So very first we have to draw the signal x of t, that is the original signal. Then we have to draw the mirror image of this signal, that is x of minus t. Then add both x of t and x of minus t for even part of the signal and subtract both x of t and x of minus t for odd part of the signal. After addition and subtraction, what to do? Divide the add part, that is x of t plus x of minus t by 2 for even part of the signal. And for odd part, x of t minus x of minus t by 2. Through this we can achieve the even part and odd part of the signal. Now third type of classification is periodic and non-periodic signals. What do you mean by periodic signal? The signal which repeats itself after a fixed interval of time. Let us suppose the fundamental period or a fixed period through which the signal repeats itself, that is t or a t naught, as you can see in this example. So that is the fundamental or fixed period through which you can see the signal repeat itself. So what is the condition for a periodic signal? X of t is equal to x of t plus capital T. This capital T is called fundamental period or fixed period, after which period the signal repeats itself. and the frequency and time period both are inversely proportional to each other. As we know, angular frequency is equal to 2 pi f and f is equal to 1 by t. So the formula will become 2 pi by t. So opposite to periodic signal is non-periodic signal. Non-periodic signal is also called aperiodic signal. A signal which does not repeat itself after a fixed interval of time. Now you can observe the difference in this example on this figure. The signal does not repeat itself. So condition for this is x of t is not equal to x of t plus capital T. Again, this capital T is called a fundamental period. Next, important condition of periodicity for discrete time signals. So very first condition is x of n must be equal to x n plus n, and capital N is a fixed period or fundamental period. But another condition to satisfy whether the signal is periodic or non-periodic, for that frequency should be a ratio of two integers, that is k by n. Suppose the ratio of two integers are 1 by 2, that we can say it's a ratio of two integers, that means the signal is periodic. If the value of k is pi and n is 2, now pi is not a integer, so the ratio of two integer is irrational, that means the signal is non-periodic. So through this process or through this condition, we can check whether the signal is periodic or non-periodic. So numerical related to these we will cover in next lecture. Now fourth type of signal is deterministic and non-deterministic signal. Deterministic signal means which can be predicted with the help of some mathematical rule or expression, or we can say lookup table. Now in this example, x of t is equal to sine 3t. As we know, the standardized equation of sine is x of t is equal to a, that is the amplitude, into sine omega t. Omega is angular frequency and signal depends on time t, varies with respect to time t. Now this we can identify with the help of mathematical expression and draw the diagram for deterministic signal whose behavior can be predicted with respect to time. Now opposite to deterministic is non-deterministic, that is also called a random signal. And as the name random, that means we can't easily find out or predict out the signal with the help of some mathematical expression. So noise is the best example of a random or a non-deterministic signal. Now you can see here we can't easily predict out what is the amplitude of this signal and what is the value of the time with respect to the particular amplitude. And the last type of the signal is energy and power signals. Energy signal means whose energy is finite but average normalized power is 0. So the value of energy lies between 0 to infinity, but the power, average normalized power will be 0. If I will take here one example of a energy signal. Now you can see here this signal varies from -1 to 1 whose amplitude is 1. Now this is an example of an energy signal. All the time limited signals are energy signal. All the non-periodic signals are energy signals, means which does not repeat itself after a fixed interval of time. So this is the formula of the energy signal: -infinity to infinity mod of x of t square dt. Mod means for a complex valued variable, we have to take the mod here. If we have a real valued signals or variables, then we can't take the value of mod. So opposite to energy is power signal, whose power is finite but energy is infinite. And all the periodic signals are called power signal. Now you can see here the signal repeat itself after a fixed interval of time. That type of signal is called power signal. So power signals are time unlimited. So that is the formula of a power signal. Power is equal to limit t tends to infinity 1 over t integration minus t by 2 to t by 2 mod of x of t squared by dt. Again mod for a complex valued. And for real valued signal, we can write here x of t is equal to x of t square into dt. So that is the comparison between energy and power signal. So energy signal are those whose energy is finite but average normalized power is 0, and power signals in which the power is finite but energy is 0. So all the periodic signals are called power signal and all the non-periodic signals are called energy signals. So next is after introducing to the signals, next is systems. As we know what is signal, that conveys some information in the form of dependent and independent variables. Now what is system? That takes the input. Let us suppose we have an input here x of t. So system will process that input and generate some output x of t. So this is called a system. Another definition of system is, suppose we have a different elements and we are connecting those elements with each other to form one system. So that is called a system. Example of system can be a personal computer in which we have a different components like keyboard, CPU, monitor, and we are connecting with each other to form one system that is called personal computer. So this is called system. That is another example of a communication system. If you can see here, one is sender, that is also called a transmitter, and second is receiver. Both are sharing the information with each other with the help of some channel, or we can say medium. That type of system is called a communication system. That is a block diagram of communication system. Here mainly three components are there. One is transmitter, second is channel, and third is receiver. First, message or input signal will be taken from source. It can be any type of signal, speech signal, EEG signal. This signal will be transmitted with the help of transmitter and sent to the channel. Now you can see here the noise is added in the channel. So the signal, transmitted signal, can be interfered with the noise, and at the receiver side, the signal that is received can be corrupted with the noise or any kind of interference. And last is received signal to sync, that is the final destination where the message is received. So these are the different examples of a communication system. So today I have discussed about introduction to signals and system and classification of systems. In next lecture I will discuss about the classification of systems. So this is all about the today's lecture. Thank you.